Tell us about when you found out that we couldn't live in the RV because we had no water and we had to move down into the White House my parents own.
Ugh. I think that was the hardest. We are live at NBC News. You ready?
We're ready live.
Do I want my feet? Are my feet out of the shot?
Go quick, come. They're not.
Okay.
Sit. Sit. Stay. Stay.
There's a lot of bees over here right now, though. You seeing this? No, there's
Yeah.
like 3.
So this is just an informal interview to get your perspective on everything and hear some of your stories, because I get to tell my point of view in all these videos, but we definitely would not be out here if not for you. I didn't write any of these questions down like I should have.
Okay.
So let's go back. We were living in a 3-bedroom house, renting, with 3 kids, one of whom was only a few months old. Why would you have agreed to buy an acre of land with nothing but trash on it?
I would say because we've wanted to buy a house since we got married, like almost 7 years ago. And we've been trying since then, I would say. We got like a lot of closed doors, which is all in God's timing and stuff. But after seeing this property, it felt right. And just knowing it was right next to your parents and stuff. I don't know. It was definitely scary. Like, I feel like up until we made the final decision, I was still like, this is a little scary, but I don't know.
Quite a decision.
Yeah. I think the reason I was so confident in saying yes to this was because I knew us and I knew our kids and I knew that we were like able to do that.
Just because we were a close enough family?
Yeah, like we see very much eye to eye on a lot of projects and stuff, and like I knew what we were capable as a family. I wouldn't recommend this for not everybody, but for a lot of people, like this specific, like what we've done has been extremely hard. Like Zippy was only like, what was she, only like 3 months old, 4 months?
It was like at 5, I think, when we officially moved out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like 3 months old when we were really considering it.
Yeah.
So I already know you were frustrated about this, but tell us about when you found out that we couldn't live in the RV because we had no water and we had to move down into the White House my parents own.
Ugh. I think that was the hardest thing that happened while we lived here. I think because we finally officially bought what we wanted. It was midsummer. I personally don't do well in heat. Like I already struggle on so many levels, and I was nursing like a 5-month-old or whatever, and then having to, because all of our stuff was just sitting out. Like when you move from like a 3-bedroom with a garage and you have 5 people in your family, like you have stuff, and we already got rid of a ton of things, but some of the stuff wasn't worth to get rid of. Like it would have been more expensive to rebuy it, so we had to keep some things, and that was like, yeah, just moving the stuff back and forth, and then moving down to his parents' like little studio thing was a blessing that they let us do that. Like that we could not have got through the season without them and stuff. It still was very frustrating to be so close and then have that setback and not to be where we wanted to be and where we felt like we were both working really hard to get our family here, and we just couldn't catch a break with it.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to pull questions out of your shoe for some reason.
Just a piece of paper
Yeah, I
out
was
of
like,
my
that's
shoe
kinda
with
random.
questions on it. My microphone keeps falling into my shirt too.
Oh. Gotta fix that.
So that was a low point. Probably your least favorite part about living out here was that summer where we were trying to get the well working and we're living down in the White House.
Yeah, we had a container of water, and I was taking buckets of water trying to keep the plants I had alive that I had started a garden from seed last year, or 2 years ago now, technically.
That was last summer.
Last summer, because we didn't know if we were going to be able to buy this. So I was like, I don't want to not start my garden, but then I had them all in pots, and so then I was trying to keep everything alive, but our well wasn't working. So I was taking buckets of water from down the hill.
Didn't you lose a couple chickens too?
I lost my ducks that I got. I lost all my chickens except one. it just was, yeah, there was a lot of learning curves and
Yeah, because we moved all the chickens into the new chicken coop that we had thrown together in a hurry, and then I don't remember. Did something get in?
so it was like yeah, something got in there.
Like twice? Because what didn't it happen? Like they got a duck one day, and then one duck was injured.
Yeah, the ducks were done in a day. I only had 4.
Sunlight.
And they were gone. There was one left after something got in there, but it was injured. Like it had like a slash on its bill and stuff. And that was really, I cried. I felt really bad. There's nothing, I mean, like they're animals, of course, but I loved them. And like you want to take care of the things that are in your house and stuff. And the chickens we had, since those were the first set of chickens I had. I still have one left of my OG chickens.
Your OG chickens.
And they're so sweet.
4 years ago we got
4
those?
years ago. Yeah.
We got the original.
They still were laying like every single day. Like those chickens were mostly, I mean, they were like pets. Like the girls, like they would let the girls pick them up and stuff. Like they were very, very sweet chickens.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was rough.
We were able to move up here with utilities around Christmas time.
Yeah, that was a high note.
What was that like moving into the tiny house officially on our property out of where we were living at my parents'?
That changed a lot for me. Like that felt like such a relief to finally be actually on our property, because we had owned it for like 2 months, right? Before we actually even got to leave the Phoenix house.
Something is chasing me.
Uh-oh. Now I'm scared.
I got stung on the face earlier today. Now I'm paranoid.
I'm just not going to move.
I'm paranoid now, okay? I got stung on the face working right there, and I'm afraid it's got a vendetta.
Came back for you.
It came back for me. I did not get stung.
I do see a fly.
I think the one that stung me I killed, smacking it off in my face, so we're okay. Yeah, so we've been here since December, and I like it a lot more because we're farther off the road. The other house was right off the road.
That was so hard.
So it felt difficult letting the kids outside because I was worried that they would be too close to the road. And now we're up on the hill away from the road and we have fences and stuff.
Yeah, the girls, they know their boundaries way more here than they did at the White House. I feel like when we were living down at his parents' little studio thing, that was like legitimately right on the road, and it was like around, like a blind corner and stuff. So if they were to wander down to the street, it would have been very, very scary.
Could have been scary.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that my thing's still recording.
Once we finally moved here, that was such
a relief. It made it a lot easier.
Made it so much easier with the kids, because while you were at work a lot, like I was doing a lot of the like smaller stuff that I could do by myself, like the putty and the paint and like the little things and stuff. And so that was easier, just being able to live here and work on it and not be like down the hill, walk all the way up here.
And you've done like fence posts. And
I did a lot of the
garden
T-posts.
And setting up the kids' play areas, like the little outdoor kitchen thing we set up for them.
Yeah. I was able to do like a couple of like little flat pads that they like and stuff. I don't know. It made it more fun to work out here.
Yeah. So I work full time and you babysit twice a week while I work.
Yeah.
So run us through quickly, what does an average day of you and the kids on the property look like?
A puzzle.
Did you finish this whole thing?
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
We get up. That's the start? No. No, we get up. Yeah, we eat breakfast pretty much right away because all of us girls get really hungry in the morning, unlike Travis. We all eat right away, and then I typically do a little bit of like a homeschooling time with them and stuff, and we read our Bibles, do some memory verse stuff. And then normally, especially now that it's more of a summertime and stuff, we'll go outside until it gets hot. Like go outside, water the garden, feed the chickens, collect the eggs, hang out with the goats. And then if it's a babysitting day, those ones are a little bit more chaotic because I can't really do nap time with the girls because it's just hard when you have another kid that's not your own to
distract them.
Yeah, distract them and stuff. So it's normally a little bit more chaos when I'm watching. We pretty much are outside, I would say, like 90% of the time. which is kind of fun because I feel like that was one thing that people were like worried about when we first were going to live in a tiny house and like live out here and stuff. And they were like, well, where, like, what are you going to do?
No pepper.
Good peppers?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Zippy is down for a nap. So Lizzie and Hazel and I are enjoying some veggies outside while we wait for her to wake up because there's not really a bedroom. So we kind of have to stay outside until she wakes up. But we just are outside like the whole time. Mm-hmm. The girls really, really enjoy being outside. I've been doing a lot of sewing stuff recently. She's got a dress now.
Okay, so I did like an elastic top and then some lace and stuff, and that is her little dress. Her pocket works too, so that's kind of fun. Might make something to put in there.
Now that the studio's done, I'll like work in there and
I'm building you a water slide
yeah.
because it's getting hot out and I know you guys hate the heat. So
Yeah.
I'm building them a water slide over here with some old scrap pond liner.
That'll be fun.
Hopefully that helps relieve the heat a little bit.
Yeah.
Last summer was chaos and super difficult. This year
Yeah.
has been much better.
So much
What has
better.
been one of the most disappointing things about this summer?
My garden.
Your garden.
Yeah.
The flowers are so beautiful. I've got some sunflowers popping up here and a few sunflowers along the fence line.
It's so hard starting over. My garden in Phoenix did really, really well. Partly because we didn't have any like animals or anything, and partly just because it was just a different temperature and like sun stuff. I don't know. Like I haven't figured out when. Like I could plant way earlier in the year in Phoenix, and it just wasn't. It wasn't as cold. Like it was fine. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. The plants were totally fine. But then when we moved out here, it's harder to. I can't plant as early. I found out this year, planting stuff and trying to keep the pests out of the garden is rough, especially because we're busy doing other things. So the garden is not top priority.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit.
And I didn't fully finish the fence. I got like
Yeah.
half the perimeter fenced off, but we don't have gates on the driveways yet.
Yeah.
And so if our dog is sleeping on the job, the deer will occasionally hop in over here
Yeah.
and nibble on a bunch of things. So
Yeah.
we do have a bunch of stuff growing, but not nearly as much as we
As my
could have.
previous years in the
if the
past.
deer weren't getting it. Or I think we have a rabbit too. Is there
Yeah, I think it's like a
jackrabbit eating
rabbit.
stuff?
And, yeah.
What do you most appreciate about living out here?
I think that it's made me enjoy being outside like I used to when I was a kid. Like I grew up, I have 8 siblings, like biological siblings that my parents, homeschooled us all. And we were raised for a majority of my life on 4 acres of land. And it was very similar to this as far as like, I don't know, just like the big trees and the play kitchen, the chickens. And I think that's what I appreciate most is it's just seeing how happy the girls are even in the midst of us like clearly still trying to establish a lot of stuff.
I know we are saving up to build a house. And so I was going to ask you, what are you most looking forward to? And I would bet that would be your answer. But is there something aside from building our house, any projects or activities that you're really looking forward to in the next couple months?
Not in months, but the goats. I'm really excited to be able to start milking the goats. Like they're only like 3.5 months right now. So they're a while away. We have a boy and a girl. We have Berry and Blossom. And they're separated now. Like they're in the same thing, but have like wire between them because the girl can't get pregnant until she's a year old because she'll be too young for that. But yeah, once she's a year old, being able to do like having like the goat kids or whatever, not my own kids, but like the goat kids, and then being able to milk them makes me very excited. Like I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I think that's something.
And you're going to get a little practice this month.
Yeah,
right?
Next week my friend is the girl who I bought the goats from. She is having me watch her goats for her, so she's going to show me how she milks her goats, and she has like an automatic milker or whatever. I'm trying to remember is that what it's called? Yeah, And so she's going to show me that, so that'll be nice to know because I've never milked anything before. It's just I don't know. Haven't done that. So that'll be cool to just to learn and stuff. And I'm really thankful for people who have been with us along the way and who have been helping us out.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the pumpkins.
Yeah, that'll be fun. The pumpkins have done
in Phoenix, we had that big pumpkin patch, and we were able to have all the family over to pick and carve pumpkins.
Yeah.
And we missed that last year, and so this year I'm hoping that my pumpkins grow in, and the deer don't eat them. And
so far, the deer have not touched the pumpkins. The only thing that they have consistently, if they get in, are eating my tomatoes and my peppers.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad because I love my tomatoes.
Yeah.
I was nervous to get the goats just because we've never had. I mean, like we've had chickens for like 4 years.
Yeah.
But livestock or whatever is just another step. So I'm happy that the last few weeks with them has been very, very easy.
Yeah, I love the goats. I think the adventurous part for me is trying all these new things and learning, one, how difficult they are, but two, also how rewarding they can be.
Yeah.
If, like, the process of learning, like, we started with the chickens in Phoenix, and the chickens, for obvious reasons, were pretty easy.
Yeah,
but it was rewarding. It was like, oh, actually, chickens aren't that bad, and we were able to keep them alive and get eggs from them and stuff. And then we learned very quickly that out here, the ducks would get eaten, and we had to figure out a better game plan for the fencing. And now we're trying out the goats, and so far the goats are going really well. And then the garden, the office we built.
Yeah.
It's just like every new little project is its own little experimentation and learning curve. But it's been a lot of fun to attempt all of those things. And some of them have been successful and some have failed, but we're learning from them. And I think there is going to be a day at which we can sit out here with a handful of goats and a bunch of healthy chickens and a big garden, and it'll all be fenced off, and we will have learned from all the mistakes we made.
Yeah. Yeah, because right now we only have 7 chickens, which is fine. It works great for our family. Like, they all lay pretty consistently every day. So they do pretty good.
Yeah.
Eventually I'll probably want more chickens, though.
Well, I have no more questions for you, but are there any can you give us a funny story of something that happened with you or the kids in the last couple of weeks? I feel like I come home from work all the time and you tell me some ridiculous thing that the kids did.
I mean, we got another hummingbird in our house.
Oh, yeah.
This is the second time that a hummingbird has come into our tiny house. And so I've caught it, and maybe you could put a picture in it or whatever. But like, I've held a hummingbird twice. The second one,
Is it the same bird?
No, it was a different one. It was a smaller one. This one was like a little baby. The other one was bigger, and it was a different color. The first one was like a greenish color. The second one was like a purpley.
Because we're up here in the hills, and it's really shady. And
There's
the
a
weather's
lot
been good,
of hummingbirds
so with
the flowers and stuff.
Yeah, we just keep the double doors open, and then I guess we get hummingbirds.
Yeah, so that's been really cool. Just to see a hummingbird up close, and then because I have to catch it to get it out of my house. I'm not just like,
you don't want to, like, fly swat
I'm not being mean to a hummingbird is what I'm trying to say. But that's been like super cool just to like hold a hummingbird. I don't know. Hazel found the second one. I was in the office sewing something, and she came out and was like, there's a hummingbird in the house. So
nice.
That's been cool. Yeah.
That is cool. That is really cool.
Been lots of mud. I think that's another challenge that I've had to like overcome is in a tiny house. There's so much traffic in the one, because we only have one. There's one room. It's the kitchen.
There's no broad entryway to like dust.
Yeah, so like there's just dirt from the kids, but I've had to learn that like they are happy. It's not like mold or trash building up. Like I mean, you can attest to this. I'm a clean. I like to have my house clean, but I've had to learn, and I'm still learning to not get as frustrated when things are messy when they're currently playing and they're happy. Like they play in the mud a lot. That's like brings them so much joy, and I have to remember that's what I did as a kid, and it was fun. It was good memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So soon we're working on. Well, we've got started the farm stand. You're quilting some stuffed animals to sell in the farm stand.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can double or triple our chicken count and sell eggs. We should be able to breed the goats and have goat's milk next year. And we're working with my parents to make more stuffed animals with my mom, and then talk with my dad about his honey.
Yeah.
So we can stock our little farm stand. And we're saving up money to build a house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for, not you, Mocha.
He's like, yes, yes.
Yes,
Oh
Mocha.
my gosh.
Thank you for being in my video.
Yep.
And for not divorcing me for, for dragging you through all of this.
Of course.
Of course.
What can I say? Oh my gosh. No,
Well, thank
it's been
you.
good.